Wow. Let's go. Fourth and Wrong podcast. We're back for another fantastic regular season. This is what we started the origin of the pod.
Yeah,
Name changes over the years, but
this is the what was it before Florida State Bama?
Yeah, the GOAT game.
I dropped 40 milligrams of Adderall. We talked for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it was
tough episode.
Audio quality not great.
Yeah, it was like I think were we sitting in chairs even?
I think we were sitting. You lived in somebody's like basement, I think, at the time.
It wasn't somebody's basement. It was a basement apartment, which is a very normal thing for people to have in Virginia Highlands, Georgia. It was. I'm not ashamed of the basement. Hi, Wesley.
I think we were sitting on a couch down there.
Yeah, it was a black couch. It's a cast.
But no, and it was before the Florida State Alabama game, which here we are, miraculously again, 8 years later for another season. We haven't done it every season, but most seasons we've been doing the pod. So appreciate those who have been around since the winning and boozing days, including producer Booza.
Winning and Booza days.
That's right. Actually, we just had our fantasy draft, and his team's name is Winning and Boozing.
That's sick. You guys are in a fantasy football league together, just you two with other people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's awesome, man. That's cool. I can't wait till I go to high school.
It's just a 10 team. We could add to 12, but we just can't think of 2 others to invite. So
yeah, okay. Just because you said that, I hope you do invite me, and then I'll forget to set my lineup every fucking week.
Good, easy dubs for me.
Yeah.
Well, things got off the rails last week.
I'm already in a fantasy football league with Austin Kroll from Bravo TV. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Not really. We were like 10 years ago, but it's whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure I know who that is, Austin Kroll.
Eddie, do you know who that is? Edward, speak up.
No,
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, all right. Well, ask your wives, guys. They'll know. Ask your girlfriends, wives. Let's just start the fucking show. My bad.
So things escalated last week.
Yeah. And that's another thing about the Lord. That was Tyler. That was Tyler the whole time.
Yep. That was a rough showing, but it just means, when the bourbon's flowing like that, it means college football's kicking off. All right.
Everyone loved it, dude. Everyone loved it. They were like, you got to do that every episode.
Did we even like get to like national championship picks, SEC picks even? Really? I think we just cut it off.
We did half the show and then promised ourselves we were going to come back on Sunday and do it again, which we never did. And then
sounds right.
Somebody said, "Can you talk about the stabbing on the pod I'm watching live?" Did you guys see my post on Twitter the other day?
No, I didn't.
So, have you guys ever heard of Stephen McDaniel?
No, I haven't.
He murdered someone, and there's a video of him on the internet, and I don't even know what site or handle posted it, but it's this very creepy thing where he's he's being detained and he's in an interrogation for hours, and they put it on a time lapse, and he is like this the entire time. Never moves.
Wow.
He murdered his college, like a girl that he went to college with, lived across the hall from him.
Okay.
He made a copy of her key or something like that. Somehow snuck into her apartment and killed her. Jeez. Then no one knew. He went back and forth between her apartment and his, dismembering the body for the next 36 hours.
Oh.
And Alex says, hey, she's in a good mood. And so anyway, so he dismembered the body and then was on camera with a local television station. They were like, did you hear about so? He's like, what happened? They were like, she's missing. She was murdered. He's like, oh, someone murdered her? She was my neighbor. Like then they found out it was him.
Sociopath, just
yeah. So I saw the video the other day, and I didn't. How sometimes I just blurt stuff out and don't realize it's a big deal until afterwards. I went to high school with him, and he stabbed me in the hand with a pencil in my 10th or 11th grade during standardized testing. It was kind of my fault. I was kind of being he used to wear mittens and carry around a briefcase. And I was like, hey,
that's
briefcase. And he's like, he was kiss. And I was like, what? And he was like, don't touch my briefcase. And I was like, well, I'm going to touch the fucking briefcase now for sure. And so then I reached out to grab the briefcase and he just stabs me right in the hand. And it never even occurred to me that was a big deal until like, I think yesterday someone was like, that guy murdered someone and he stabbed you. Dude, first thing I did, I looked up when his parole is. It's not till 2041, thank God.
Thank God. Yeah, hopefully he doesn't listen to the show in the clink. Just waiting for his time to get out to find you, boy.
Fuck you, Eddie.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, well, let's just get in the week because there's a lot of I'm like firing starting tomorrow. I mean, I fired on Saturday, of course, but I don't talk about that because I had Kansas State, and then Avery Johnson goes in. He's terrible. His dad fights his brother afterwards. I didn't want to be anything part of it. So now we clear the slate. We didn't bet Kansas State -3.5.
I bet Iowa State to win money line.
All right. Well, it officially starts this week, Chris. So I'm going to be on this USF Boise State game tomorrow.
Dude, right off the bat, it's 4:30 here. I'm excited. Why don't we just do the show different this year? And we need a different bottom. I'm going to make a bottom real quick. Power bottom.
You make a good bottom.
Thanks, brother. What's your lock of the week? Let's just start there.
Okay, so I don't know if this is my lock of the week, but the Boise, I'm all over USF.
What's your lock of the week?
I'm all over USF here.
Yeah.
Against Boise State. Boise State's coming to town. You know, obviously they were in the playoff last year, Chris.
Yep.
It's a new team. I don't know if you remember a guy, Ashton Jeanty.
That's not how you pronounce his name.
Ashton Jeanty. Whatever it is. He was Heisman runner-up, 2,600 yards rushing last year. Coming off a 12-2 season. Got to go down to South Florida, Tampa. It's hot. It's disgusting. I remember when Boise did this a couple years ago. It came to actually supposed to be Tallahassee. Then it got moved to Jacksonville. Still beat us because Willie Taggart was doing his thing at those days. So all the talk then was how they were not going to be able to handle the heat, and they somehow handled it better than our squad did.
They were handling that heat.
But I think Golish and the boys, he's going to have the boys ready to handle the Gianti-less Broncos. I think Boise State's like a 5.5 favorite at Tampa.
A 5? I'm sorry, what favorite?
Your favorite line, 5.5.
I hate that line. I'm with you, man. I love South Florida.
I'm taking USF here. I think they've done a good job for their level of how they've recruited that roster. Golish, I like him as a coach. Yeah, they only went 7 but they go like 7-6 last year. They weren't great, but I like their QB. And I mean, he was a baller 2 years ago. He got hurt like at the beginning of last year. So, I mean, he's back. So give me money line USF, but I'll just take the points for this.
Yeah, I like that. My lock of the week.
You making a bottom?
Yeah, I just did. I sent it to Eddie. My lock of the week, without question, without hesitation. Oh, buddy. Auburn, money line. I think it's only -130 right now. Hammer. By the way, I don't know if you've paid attention to any Baylor fans on social media.
No,
they have some. Okay. They talk like they are like this, like, oh, like Auburn has no clue what they're walking into. They're walking into 42,000 Methodists, I'm assuming, because it's not Baptist, or maybe that's, I don't know. I mean, like, it is
something.
Could not be a less intimidating environment to be in. That stadium I thought was huge because it's like Chip and Joe built it, and it's there's shiplap on the outside of it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful shiplap.
Yeah,
but
no doubt.
Waco, no one has been scared of Waco since 1994, and with very good reason. And the idea that Auburn, with all the talent, do you know what Auburn's team talent ranking was for the roster composite rankings that came out in 247 Sports?
I do not.
12th.
Ooh,
12th. They have done like you can sit here and say this all depends on Hugh Freeze still, and he's got to figure his shit out and not get in his own way. And I think this idea that there's 2 to 3 different people calling plays on downs is fucking stupid. But the defense is going to be good. There's legitimate stars in 2 of the levels with Jay Crawford at defensive back and Keldrick Falk. If you look at his success rate and win rate as an edge rusher, it was higher than Dylan Stewart's last year. The numbers might not have been as good stats wise, but they weren't far off. And so that's a guy that's gotten a lot of preseason love, like in early NFL, way too early NFL draft pick love for next year in the first round. So you got stars in the defense, and Auburn's defense is always good. Then you look offensively, it's the best offensive line they've had in over a decade. Jackson Arnold's a former 5-star consensus top 10 player in the country. I have a hard time believing he's just bad. I have a hard time believing he's just not a good quarterback, considering last year at Oklahoma, he had the worst offensive line in the entire country that allowed 50 sacks and then also had their top 5 receivers out. He is going into a situation where Auburn has legitimately a top 3 receiver room in the country with Ohio State and LSU. And they are deep and loaded at that spot. Multiple former 5-stars. Eric Singleton, top 5 player in the portal. You went out and got a top 5 player or portal class this past offseason. Also have 2 back-to-back top 10 recruiting classes. Like, Baylor doesn't have any of the things I just mentioned. Baylor has Chip and Joe, and that's it. And a weird
Sawyer Robertson. Come on.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me another player.
Their coach is about as weird as their fan base.
Talking about all them throwing all the midgets in them games. They're playing all them games, throwing midgets.
Strange. No, I think you're right. Now, one thing was kind of weird that Hugh Freeze came out and said that all 3 quarterbacks are going to play in this game.
He said they might, which was so stupid. I don't know why he's doing any of this.
Did he also come out and basically admit that the defense had to let Jackson Arnold get some wins so he could build some confidence?
I didn't see that, but I wouldn't be surprised. He is a masterclass. And if you ever watched an HR video for a shitty job and they were like, here's the situation you're in. You're in the break room. You see Rhonda. What should you say? And it's like, hey, Rhonda, you got a fat ass. Or, hi, Rhonda, may I get some coffee, please? Which one do you choose? It? He is the first video. He is the before and after of every fucking HR video you've ever seen. Everything he does is wrong. Everything he does from a PR standpoint is wrong. And he just doesn't ever learn. You would think he would have learned by now. Nope. He's just gotten wrinklier and godlier. That's the clip. Clip it, Eddie.
Yeah, 3 signal callers in one game. I don't that would frighten me. As well as the alleged quote about the defense having to help him gain some confidence. Don't know if you like that.
No, but, I don't.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. This is a great Friday game. This is a great Friday game. You get USF. What are the games are on Friday? I think there's a
Colorado.
That's right, Georgia Tech, Colorado. That's another one I wanted to talk about just quickly. I mean, so Caden Salter's the guy, not the kid from that used to be committed to Auburn. What was his name? 5-star kid. But anyways, went to Colorado. Everyone thought he was going to be the heir apparent.
Did you?
Sanders. Yeah.
I think he was committed to USC.
And Auburn, right? Or was he thinking about going to Auburn at one point?
He was thinking about it for sure.
Yeah. Anyways, he goes to Colorado. Caden Salter transfers in from Liberty. He's put up pretty great stats there, but I mean that's a Liberty offense that's not really going up against I'd say the best competition in the world. So
128th ranked strength of schedule in the country.
This is at Colorado, so obviously home opener at night. Georgia Tech goes out there like Georgia Tech. I mean, I feel like they're getting a lot of love for a 7-6 squad last year, but I think there's a lot of goodwill that was built up from that awesome game against Georgia at the end of the year. Haynes King is back, obviously. I think the biggest thing that we're looking forward to seeing is Dion without Shedeur at the helm and Travis Hunter on both sides of the ball. That to me, it's this first game going up against a tough-nosed Brent Key defense. I'm just interested to see how it goes for them. What are you thinking in this game? I mean, they're 4.5 underdogs at home.
Yeah, I don't love that, but I do like Tech, and that line's gone up from 3.5 or 3 to 4.5 now. Could be a situation to parlay for Friday night. I think you're right. I think you nailed it with Tech in the terms of, well, they've gotten a lot of I guess like benefit of the doubt and positivity going in the offseason because of what they did against Georgia. But the reason why they did so well against Georgia last year, and you saw it firsthand in that 8 overtimes when you had to go to the play calling part of it, which is Buster Faulkner's your OC, who's one of the best OCs in the country, comes from one of the best high schools in the history of the country. And a lot of people that go to that high school are very successful, and everyone knows that. Some of them live in basements at times in their lives, but they're not bad. They're called terrace level apartments. I want to reiterate that. But Buster Faulkner is one of the best play callers. He still has a lot of talent here. They still have Jamal Haynes, the running back, who's very, very good, very talented. And Haynes King, man, like Haynes King continues to be one of the better, more underrated players, I feel like, in the country. And not just underrated players, but like very underrated athlete. Part of that's because he's white and looks like King Joffrey from Game of Thrones. But also it's because like we see it time and time again, the way he's able to utilize his legs. If he can stay healthy, they are a dangerous team.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if Singleton hadn't transferred from this team, you'd be. But I don't know if you saw their tight end room looks a little weak, but I did see that Luke Harpering is a tight end on the team, which I'm guessing that's Matt Harpering's son. So
yeah,
another sign that we're getting older.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man, I like what Key has done at Georgia Tech. They're thankful that he's an alum because I got to imagine if they overperform here in his third season that he'd be out. Nah, just one Coors Light here this time.
That's it?
Yeah, I mean, I could always go get more, fellas. That's, you just tell me.
I mean, you could probably just go to the store and I won't skip a beat.
Yeah, I do have the kids this time. Last time I was free of child.
Oh, okay.
So
I've seen people up that way, just, put them on a leash, head to the store, get a baby monitor, head on out. Booza does it all the time. Booza is one of the most irresponsible people I know. Okay, so we're on the same page with that. Okay. Can we real quick, speaking of alum, can I give a shout out real quick?
I know where you're going. Elon Duke, Thursday, 7:30 p.m. ESPN Plus.
No, before we get into FSU Bama, which is what the people are jonesing for here.
Yeah.
Can I also tell you, Florida State, your alma mater, Eddie went to the community college in Tallahassee there and was one of those fringe guys that was around campus a lot. So he made friends that way because he always used to buy them booze when they were underage. Booze was not even his real last name.
That's true.
And so you guys both kind of went to Florida State. I went to Georgia College and State University. Oh, yeah. Everyone that knows me from this show or us from this show knows the last couple of years and just our track record here. But
there's been a lot of ups and downs.
All jokes aside, am so fucking excited to say this. Someone reached out to me today from Georgia College and State University, and I'm being written about as the featured alumni for Georgia College and State University in the month of September. I was there for 6 years. All they had to do was just look at my actual records and be like, no, we're good on that.
We're positive this isn't a prank of some kind.
That'd be so fucked up.
And then you talked about it here.
That would be tough.
I don't think put that in. I'm sure it's legitimate. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like
I don't think there's a lot of Georgia College and State University prank accounts. Yeah. And if there are, and they chose me, still an honor. So let's get into Florida State Bama. I was on coach's conference call today.
Oh, nice.
The board just very casually drops. We don't know. This was so weird, man, because like usually it's just local media. Like I'm sure there's guys that listen in, but a lot of times it's just local media. It's not like a lot of national guys. And I'm listening in, and Kalen DeBoer goes, or they have Kalen DeBoer on, and they said, up next, Peter Nakos from On3 has a question. And I was like, Peter, fairly newer. Okay.
My, how you've grown.
My, how you've grown. It's me, Captain James Hook. And hello, Peter. And so he goes, hey, just want to get an update on Tim Keenan. Is he going to be a full go? And it was very obvious right away. Whatever he was saying was stuff that Kalen DeBoer did not want out. Yeah. And DeBoer was like, I don't know. It's too early to tell. He because like, and then there's somebody who has a follow-up question. They were like, hey, you didn't say this on Monday. And they have to come out with the injury reports now. And so Tim Keenan, a starter, one of the more valuable players on this team, and defensive lineman, he's going to be out. They're going to be out 3 starters.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a rainy game in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
I shouldn't ask you, Tyler, because you're the eternal pessimist. But
yeah,
Eddie,
to be fair, there's been a lot of positivity around the program over the last year. So
could have hired Dion. Gone 3-9, bitch. Eddie, is there any more optimism like creeping in now with you guys? Like because I think it's going to be a more difficult game, at least early on, than Bama fans want it to be.
Yeah, I mean, Booz, I'll let you jump in at any point, but
I did ask the question.
I think at the end of the day, Bama will control the game just because they have the better talent. I do think the first half could be close. The thing about Florida State is their starting 22, I think, is good enough, especially in the ACC, to have a nice turnaround season. But the problem is just in a game like this where you're going to get worn down, or just over the season long, especially when your quarterback, who's pretty much tailor-made for this kind of offense with Gus Malzahn, he's like 5'10", 180 pounds. Like, I don't think he's ever made it through a season healthy. So that's always kind of on your mind is like, yeah, I think that starting 22, as long as they're all out there, I think they could pretty much perform with anyone on their schedule. Maybe Clemson, potentially Bama, are like a little out of reach, I'd say, as far as the upper end talent, but it's more so through the year. How do they wear down? So I think in this game, it will be a close first half. Maybe you even take a look at like, I don't know what the points are for the first half.
Ooh, now we're talking.
That could be something to look at for Florida State, but I guess ultimately I just don't think that they'll be able to hang for 4 quarters. I don't know. Booza, do you have any, you've probably been more positive than I have.
That's why I asked him originally. You just kept talking. So it's
he was still muted, so I jumped in.
Nah, I got the wood on tonight.
Oh yeah, nice. Good for you.
Yeah.
What?
No, it's Bama, dude. Your backups are far and away ahead of our starters.
Now I understand why
anyone
sounds fucking stupid.
Goes down. It's going to be tough.
I told Chris that if Bama loses this game,
it's so bad.
Bama should have basically the Lane Kiffin treatment. Just leave him on the tarmac. There's no reason to lose this game.
Now, I will tell you. So here's nobody asked, but I'll just tell you my thoughts on it. Anyway, so I
TCU UNC Belichick first game.
Pregnant. No, I think that Bama should be able to win, but my thoughts on them, like the positive side of this, where I'm like, oh well, listen, Jam Miller's out, his backup running back Daniel Hill. There's rumors circulating that he's also out. So you're down to Richard Young, who's a former 5-star kid, like very good pound. So your third string running back is a 5-star. I get what you're saying, Eddie. Like I do. At the same time, I look at it and I'm like, I don't know if you're gonna be able to just line up and run the football in this. I'm so fucking tired of Bama going to the state of Florida and it being a goddamn monsoon every single time. South Florida 2023, the Michigan bowl game, and now this is supposed to be just like the worst weather. Yeah. And I said this to somebody the other day. I love the Ratatouille reference about Thomas Castellanos. That is perfect. Just love his hat. I will say that I feel like watching him play a little bit. There's times when he does stuff on the field. He did it last year against Florida State, where it's like there's times where he comes in and you're like, oh my God, this kid is awesome to watch. It's like if he wasn't playing for my team, like awesome to watch. But I compared him, and I wasn't even thinking when I said this, but I compared him to 2019 Bo Nix, which was his freshman year, who played for Gus Malzahn at the time, when he was like, there would be 3 to 5 things at a time that guy would do, or a game that guy would do that you're like, oh my God, that was incredible. And there's 3 to 5 things he would do. You're like, what the fuck is he thinking about? Yeah. That feels exactly what this guy is. But I will also tell you, Bo Nix beat Bama his freshman year. So I don't necessarily expect that to be the case.
You moved on from that coach. You've upgraded there. No, but I think in this game, like Castellanos, he's going to have an efficient game. Like, just don't turn the ball over. And that's, at this point, you're brought in to use your legs. This is going to be one of the games that you are going to have to use your legs to your advantage to have a chance in this game. Your boy Roydell Williams, back from injury this year. I think he's going to be the starter. He'll probably get the majority of the carries. His backup is a true freshman, Usman Chroma. Remember the name, Chris?
No, this kid is legit. If you watched any of his film,
he's legit, dude. He's wearing an old school running back number 2, as well, I should say, number 32.
Oh, I like that.
How many running backs wear 32 these days?
How big are his shoulder pads? Talk dirty to me.
Yeah, he's got a neck roll. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so close. Alumni of the month, baby.
Book them. Yeah, I mean, look, I think if Florida State's O-line can stay healthy through the course of this game, and so could Castellanos, I think they could keep it close for 3 quarters. I do think ultimately the depth will be tested, and they just won't have enough.
Yeah.
So
is he drinking out of a straw? What the fuck? Who is this kid?
Damn it. I'm going to take Bama probably. Let's go 35-21.
I think it'll be a little bit more low scoring than that because of the weather. I'm going to say 20. I just said that. I'm going to say 27-16. I don't think they cover now with the injuries. Should we get into the good stuff?
Here's one thing I'll say about that. I'm trying to go into this game realizing that at this stage of where we're coming off of, it's really, this game is not going to tell us a ton unless Alabama just completely just destroys them, blows them off the field. If they can compete for 3 quarters into the 4th quarter, for me, I will not let it change. I'm saying it now, so when I'm pouting after the game, I won't let it change my trajectory of where we could be this year. Because look, that Miami game at home, like if you could somehow pull that off as an upset, basically your only toughest other game is obviously Clemson, but there's no more divisions, so you could potentially make some noise. You know,
the worst thing that could happen, I think, to Norvell is to win this game and go 7-5, and that has nothing to do with like anything with Bama. That's like, if he wins this game and goes 7-5, and then you're like, why? But like, why? Why did you waste so much momentum and positivity? I feel for Norvell, man. I want him to be successful there. I want you to be happy. I want Eddie to be happy. Like I get it. And like, you still should have been in the playoff 2 years ago. So it's one of those things too, where it's like, I think that Bama coming out, especially with the running back situation, if it was dry, if it was 79 degrees or 92 degrees or whatever, not a cloud in the sky, I would pick Bama by 20. But like, being situation like that, that's a part where it's like, we talk a lot about, oh, Castellanos said this, Ty Simpson's coming in, he's got all this talent around him, Ryan Williams. There's more experience at the quarterback position for Florida State by a long shot than Ty Simpson. Let's get into some of the good stuff because it's a really good weekend. You want to start at the 11 a.m. Central Time kickoff?
Ooh, God's time.
That's right. Southern Miss, Mississippi State.
Everyone's been waiting on it all off season, so here we go. Should have started the pod with it. This is game on Fox. Yeah. Dave Portnoy is not allowed in the stadium. I've seen that. Fox's first game with him at the helm, kind of being the spotlight. He's not allowed to be there.
What do you want them like banning him?
I mean, it's part of college sports, I guess, but it's just whatever. It's kind of lame, I guess.
I always thought it was stupid. They were like, yeah, TTUN, that team up north. I don't think so, mister. Like, we're not even going to use them by name. And then, like, putting an X over all the M's on campus. That's so fucking it's like so stupid.
Yeah.
So stupid. And I just think it's really dumb.
I agree. Ohio State is now out to a 2.5-point favorite here in this game against Texas, number 1 Texas. Yeah. This game is in Columbus. Total's 47.5. Obviously, you've got a lot new on Ohio State's side of the ball. You do have a lot new on Texas side of the ball too, though. On both sides of the ball, like they had a really good defensive line last year. A lot of those guys have moved on. Their O-line was really good. I think Hunter, or what was their tight end name? Gunnar
Helm. They lost everyone on that offensive line.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot that they've got to replace. But they've got Arch, man. Arch. Heard about this guy Arch? He's in the
So
Manning.
he's related to the Kelseys. And rumor
congrats.
has it he
Congrats.
fucked Taylor Swift. No, he's a Manning brother. But I think Ohio State might make him look more like a whoa Manning, a woman.
Who are inferior in this conversation of battle.
We should just go to game days and make the most ignorant, like stupid and ignorant enough signs where they're so ignorant people will have to question if they're also sexist. More like, whoa, Manning. And I'm like, what? I don't know what that means.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into this game.
Yeah, I'll stop.
All right. Julian Sayin, also a new starter for Ohio State at quarterback. Former Bama elite Hall of Famer. I think he was committed there. I think he was on campus for like a month, maybe.
Less than that. He was the last quarterback recruited by Nick Saban, and DeBoer didn't know how to say his name or called him the wrong name or some shit. And then he left.
Perfect. So you got him. Obviously, you return Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, former 5-star Brandon Innes at receiver. You lose Travion and Quinshon Judkins, so you've got a lot to replace in the backfield. It sounds like Travion's just kind of killing it for the Pats in the preseason, so it'll be
Quinshon's like apparently looking at a way to come back.
He's killing it somehow. Like
no, I think that got dismissed, but it's like cost him a spot, so now he's like trying to figure out a way to come back to college football.
Well, maybe they get laid out here for the game.
Can you just stone cold entrance? That'd be fucking sick. Okay, what do you think? What from a betting standpoint and from a schematics and X to O standpoint, what are you thinking?
Well, I don't know what to think about like what we're gonna get out of Arch for a full game. This is a very difficult environment to go into, like for your first real start.
Yeah.
On the road, defending national champions at, it's a noon game, so that helps. If it was a night game, that'd be tough. I think the spread's probably the right move, but that would imply as well that Texas is the better team, correct? The spread?
It would, because you have, I think, was it 7 points in college for a home game?
Is that much?
I think so. I think
it's more than 3. So either way, it would imply that Texas is the better team. But I just, does it feel like this is Sark's year? Or no. Let's
leave this up here for a while. Thank you, Cruz. You look handsome. I don't feel that way. I don't feel like it's Sark's year.
Okay. So what do you think is going to happen in this game? Because I think the right team is favored just off the rip because both teams are replacing so much.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Who are we going to see with Ryan Day with confidence? I mean, maybe this is a whole new run that Ohio State's about to go on. So
that's a good team. Honestly, that's something I
for Texas first before I believe in them. I mean, I truly do, because last year they should have won both those Georgia games, like in my opinion, on paper.
Why?
Well, they were at home for one.
That's
they
fair.
had as much talent as anybody in the country. And then they didn't even have to face the starting quarterback for Georgia in the second half of the SEC and still lost.
Yeah. Let's just get this out of the way, Tyler. What is Texas's record against Georgia since they joined the SEC? Like, Texas is, if you've talked to anybody from that state that covers them in the media, that's a fan of that fucking school, Texas is football. Period.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell right.
Woo! But I look pretty skinny when I do that. I should just do this the whole time. Look at my wrists. They're so dainty as fuck. So here's the deal. Texas is the best team in America, and Texas should win the national championship. They are the number 1 team preseason, even though Ohio State won the national championship and beat Texas but 9 calendar months ago. I'll just tell you this. Texas is 0-2 against Kirby Smart. Neutral site and at home, like you said. They haven't even had to go to Sanford Stadium, where they've lost 1 game since 2017, and they're still 0-2. Texas is 0-1 against Ryan Day. Lost to him last year in the semifinals going into the national championship game. Steve Sarkisian's a great coach. He's 0-2 against Kalen DeBoer. Like, we have somehow anointed this program, not just Arch, but the whole program as the next thing. I told you this on this show 4 years ago that when NIL came back around, dormant former blue blood powerhouses like Tennessee, Southern Cal, Texas, Pepper, we got it, bud. We got it. Those teams were going to come back with a vengeance because they were going to have very, very starved and hungry boosters that were waiting for something like this so they could pay for players to win a national championship. It's been 2 years. Still hasn't happened at Texas. Arch Manning is the former number 1 overall recruit in the country. So is Quinn Ewers. They lost 23 total players in the draft in the last 2 years. By far the most they've had it ever. Not ever, but like at least in the last 10 to 15 years. So why should we assume that they are going to go into the defending national champion's house and walk out with a win in week 1? I'll tell you why, Tyler. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, brother. If any team, if Texas can win, if Texas can score 14 points in any game, there's a chance. This is way too low. There's a chance that what's happened? I'm drunk. There's a chance that they will not lose a single game because that defense in the back seven is the best secondary and linebacking core combined in the country. That defense is going to be very, very legit. I love Ryan Day. I love what Ohio State has. I kind of feel like they're one of the least talked about returning or like defeat or repeating. What am I looking for? Defending national champs in the country that we've seen in quite some time. Penn State being ranked ahead of them is fucking ridiculous. But you're breaking a new DC. You lost a shit ton of people to the NFL. You got a new quarterback. It's not a night game in Columbus. It's an 11 a.m. kick. I think Texas goes in and wins. I really do. I don't think Texas is going to win the national championship, but I think Ohio State has as many question marks as Texas does. And I think that looking at these two teams, I think that Texas has the quarterback with more experience, a better play caller, and above all else, they have the better defense, which is, I think, the ultimate de facto check mark they need to win this game.
So you think they could win this game? Possibly
they will win this game.
Now, after this, they got San Jose State, UTEP, Sam Houston State before they do a bye week. And then they go to Florida. Then you got the run of at Florida. You got the Red River rivalry the week after that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got 3 games at Kentucky, at Mississippi State, potentially the 2 worst teams in the SEC this year.
Yeah, gauntlet.
Got those on the road, which is a great setup for your schedule. And then you come home to Vandy before you take a little bye week before you go to Athens. I mean, there's potential if they win this game, they're going to be undefeated going into Athens in week 12.
Yeah, I think that happens. I tell you what, my biggest knock on Texas winning a national championship this year is even with this game, even with the trip to Texas or to Athens, and then even with the potential that they get back to Atlanta again, I think the biggest question mark they have is they aren't going to be tested enough. Like I don't see them winning a game besides this one, which is week 1. Every team's going to get better as the season goes on, where it's like, oh my God, what an incredible job they did. Where they were able to like I don't see them getting better every week and like gelling and learning more. Like they're going to beat really average to below average teams up until November, just like they did last year. And then they're going to have to step up and face somebody and they're going to get their fucking teeth kicked in like they have done the last several years in a row. You didn't beat Washington in the playoffs a couple years ago when you were a heavy favorite. You didn't beat Georgia last year either time, especially in Atlanta with a backup quarterback. You didn't beat Ohio State. Like, I don't know how many more breaks Texas needs on a big picture level. I don't think they're good enough to win a national championship.
I mean, I would push back a little bit. I think the road game at Florida is a tough environment. As long as Lagway is healthy and playing, I think that's a good test for them. And then right after that, very next week, you got to go play your rival in Oklahoma, who should be very improved with Moneyline Mateer. You know,
yeah.
So they're a fascinating team to follow. One of my favorite games, maybe my favorite game of the day, is LSU Clemson.
God, Jesus, man.
This opening slate is. I wish
so good.
Maybe it will end up being a good game, and I won't rule out the Florida State Bama game being good, but I just wish that Florida State was up to its peak potential, just so because I feel like that game that's kind of like the standalone game at 3:30, and it's just not the best game. I mean, It's a 13.5 point game, whereas all these games are, Notre Dame, Miami, the Texas game we just talked about, this game we're about to talk about. They're all
Hold on. Let me push back on that for you. Okay. You're a Florida State fan. Look at your stupid hat. Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
I know that things haven't been great there. I get that. I get all that. Parlay P's here.
Let's say the least. Parlay P.
This is our dude that we're doing the betting special with this year, each and every week.
Oh, he says emptying the account on Bama Moneyline. There you go.
He said he's adding money to go like ham during the game as well. He's also got some picks for us, which we'll get into. He had some last week as well, and we'll do that each and every week because he's a great dude. Here's the deal. That is not official advice. Here's the deal. Let me tell you why the 3:30 game is perfect for us. It might not be a great game, but it's our game. And like,
none of those games are during it either, which is great.
What's that?
None of those awesome games around it are during it either, which is
exactly. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. And like, I hope that my team wins. I know that you hope your team wins. I get all those things. One of my favorite reactions ever, and I miss this version of Tyler so much, is when y'all beat LSU a couple years ago, and then afterwards you were like, "Yeah, I went outside and I threw up." I was like, "Yes, fuck yes, Tyler, that's what I want." But I mean, like that whole thing, and then to have like the 12 o'clock games where it's like I don't give a shit about Southern Miss, Mississippi State really, but Syracuse and Tennessee, yeah, I'm in on that. The other one with Ohio State, Texas, we're obviously all in on that. But this game at night, oh my God. I pray this lives up to the billing because I think this could be one of the best inconsequential, fun games that we've seen in the regular season in week one in forever.
Dude, night game in one of the Death Valleys, probably not the Death Valley, but one of the Death Valleys, 7:30 is ABC. Number 9 LSU at number 4 Clemson. Clemson 3.5 point favorite as it stands today. Total 57.5. Clemson coming off ACC championship, first college football playoff appearance since 2020. They were 10-4 last year. Cade Klubnik, who I think got a lot of shit his first 2 years on campus. This is going to his 4th year now. 36 touchdowns, only 9 picks last year. He's a Heisman candidate, maybe a front runner.
He only had 4, right?
What's that?
I think he only had 4 picks.
He only had 4 picks?
I'm pretty sure he had 35-4, at least in the regular season, I want to say.
Maybe. Well, I don't think he had 5 picks in the playoffs. Maybe he did. Okay, you might be right. 4 picks, whatever. Awesome touchdown to INT ratio. I do remember it being a little bit better than I just said too. So, obviously, Clemson is the betting favorite in the ACC. They've had 10 wins in 13 of the last 14 seasons. A lot of us tried to spell Clemson's death and demise a little too early. Dabo's got something to say for it. He's got a little TikTok account. Obviously, he's still doing the TikTok. I don't know if he's done it yet.
Is he really?
I hope so. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this game. What are your thoughts? I mean, I really like Clemson this year. Brian Kelly, how could you trust him in this game? Just track record alone at LSU thus far. Oh, okay. I see. All right, you're throwing it up. So tell me.
Right there, dog. Right there, dog. See, that's why we pay Eddie the big bucks right there. To prove us both wrong. Actually, guys, I'm here with the stats. Both of you are fucking stupid drunk.
That boy.
Brian Kelly sucks. I love Brian Kelly. He also made fun of me in the press conference the other day.
Really?
Yeah, I asked a question that I thought was a really good question, and I was like, first off, think about the fact that Brian Kelly, the only other question I've ever asked him, I was like, "Hey, Brian, most important question of the day. In your best Southern accent, what's your favorite food you've had in Louisiana?" And he was like, "Okay." So we're in the press conference, and everyone's asking legitimate questions. And then, of course, my fucking boss, Matt Moscona, asked the question right before me. And then I was like, "Hey, Brian, without giving anything too much away, the receiver room, everyone's excited about it with good reason. But do you expect to use more 12 personnel against the defense?" I didn't think that was a bad question. And your reaction is what that was everyone's reaction. I was like, "Do you expect to use more 12 personnel against Clemson's defensive line, especially without, just..." Handed the microphone back to the girl, this like intern or whatever she is. Could not have been more clammy. This thing was sopping wet.
It was right?
Yeah, I was so nervous. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And then Brian Kelly just like smirks and he's like, yeah, I mean, I think it's good to have all of our best players on the field. Also, yeah, we could do that with 5 receivers or a running back or really anything. But yeah, I think it's a smart move to put Trey'Dez Green and whoever the other Bauer Sharp on the field at the same time. Probably pretty good, probably pretty smart move. And I was like, yeah, all right, I'll kill myself. It's fine.
As a follow-up, Coach Nussmeier, you think he'll get some play this week?
So he gets to answer the question, and the fucking local sports like news guy, like on like a local TV, like Channel 2, turns around and goes, "Hey guys, you guys know that Chris Marlar, he knows football. He asked about 12 personnel. Did you hear that? Did you hear him ask about 12 personnel? Big football guy back here." And I was like, "That's fine. I'll just
get him on the pod. Got to talk to that guy."
All right,
so tell me why 12 personnel or not, why LSU is going to go into Clemson at night and get a victory. Something they haven't been able to do in openers the last few
I don't think they do. But I tell you what, I'm still very high on LSU. But I think this LSU team is somebody we see, or a team that we see that like gets better over the season, where we see them like kind of gel more. They have questions of the offensive line. What's the one position, as you guys know ball just like me. What's the one like position unit that you need like the most time to find like the right cohesive 5 guys or how many guys? It's that. It's the opposite.
Obviously, it's a DB. Right,
you're running a lot of nickel flex, fire 2.
You start cutting them off as you're saying something like that. It's like, obviously, no, the talent that's most hard to cultivate. You're like, yeah, we get it, Coach DB. Now let's talk about 12.
Coach, I've been playing a lot of NFL Blitz on N64 still in my basement apartment, and I just look over at you. You're not even there. Just like, anyway. No, I think that the offensive line is the part that is like you have to be the most patient with. In this game, it's the one you can be the least patient with. I'm very high on LSU, and I'm very high on LSU because of I don't think Brian Kelly's a fuck up. I don't. I think that he made a bad decision with his defensive coordinator a couple of years ago. I think he's got the right guy now. I really, really like Blake Baker. I like Joe Sloan. I like Baker more than Sloan. I wish Dabo would fall down the hill. Can you imagine that?
I rooted for it ever since I knew that he just did dead sprint.
Yeah,
I mean,
I didn't fucking tie my New Balances, dude.
To be honest, that's a pretty athletic move. Like, when's the last time you tried to full sprint down a hill?
Tyler, I ran a half mile in 6 minutes the other day. It's the longest I've run in 2 years. I almost fucking died.
And yet, I think it's probably still more athletic
than Dabo. I should have been getting ready the right way. I should have been fucking doing it in khakis. Like just
40, sprinting dead sprint down a hill seems like there's some sort of tendon tear.
Yeah, in a pair of Dockers? Are you out of your fucking mind? Yeah. Pleated duckhead khakis,
turtleneck underneath a sweatshirt, just full sprint in khakis down that hill.
My favorite picture of him, if you ever go to like any, like just Google Dabo, and he's like, he does. There's a picture of him going like this in that exact outfit. He's like, and you know he's trying to give a high five, but he looks like the girl from the breakdance video in the Olympics. It's incredible. Dude, I think Clemson on paper, back to the game, is the best team in the country to start the year. There's so much talent defensively, especially. There's so much talent offensively with what they have at receiver. Yeah. Here's the thing I keep going back to, man. You know our buddy Matt Luke. Talk about Matt Luke, former head coach, Ole Miss football. He's the offensive line coach at Clemson. This has been the most underdeveloped and underutilized focused like position unit that anyone's had in the Dabo era. Like, I think the highest draft pick they have at that position is a second rounder. They don't have a ton of even second day or first day guys on the offensive line. Like, they have been very, very like lax about recruiting that position as well as they do other elite positions and important positions. That's changing under Matt Luke. They've got a guy that's plays there now that's going to be a potential first-round pick next year. He's one of 4 to 5 guys that are going to be first-round picks. I just don't think it sets up well for LSU because of Clemson being further ahead with what they have returning and what they have in place in comparison to LSU. I do think LSU, like we're going to have all the narratives about this are going to be wrong afterwards. Like all the narratives after this game are going to be so hilariously wrong when we look up in November because there's going to be comments about the transfer portal and Dabo doing it his way versus what Brian Kelly did and him bringing in this incredible class versus Dabo sticking to his guns. There's going to be the SEC, ACC thing. There's going to be all this talk. And then we're going to look up in November and LSU's going to be a completely different team, not having to play Clemson on the road. I just think that LSU's going to be a better product at the end of the year than now. So I got Clemson to win, but I hope that I'm wrong about this one.
Yeah, I mean, Clemson's D-line may be the best in the country that like with proven talent. I mean, certainly there are some that have more 5 stars in the room, but I mean, you got TJ Parker and Peter Woods. You bring in the kid from Purdue, who was a really good edge player for them. DeMonte Capehart comes back, and then your entire O-line outside of your your left guard are all grad students who have performed well for you. Tristan Lee, former 5-star, Blake Miller, high 4-star recruit, Walker Parks. These guys are all 4 stars. Yeah. They're all grad students. Like this is Clemson's year. I mean, I honestly,
I agree.
And when you're that good along in the trenches, as we know, you're probably going to go pretty far. So,
and again, by the way, it works both ways. Where if Clemson doesn't win this game, the idea that like they couldn't beat another SEC team, they're 0-4 in the last 4 games against them, all that kind of stuff is going to be said, and then they're going to go play the ACC, and they're going to be fine. I will also tell you this, Tyler. As much as I'm high on Clemson, I keep looking at this, and I'm like, they had all this in place last year, and they went 0-3 against the SEC. And this team, I think, is not as good as Georgia maybe last year, maybe. But they're probably better than South Carolina, maybe like last year. And then whoever the other one, Texas, well, maybe not Texas. Either way, they're 0-3 against the SEC. I'm ahead of myself.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got Georgia in that first game last year. Your 2 of your top 3 receivers this year were true freshmen in that game.
Yeah,
I think that receiver room's a totally different. There you go.
Yeah, we're locked in, brother. How much of this bottle do you think I can fit in my mouth? This way.
Well, 100%, obviously. Okay, well then let's
52 minutes in, we did 4 games. Pew, pew,
pew, Sunday, 7:30 on ABC. Number 6 Notre Dame at number 10 Miami. Spread is currently Miami is a 2.5-point underdog. Total 49.5.
Okay, hold on real quick. We have to do at least South Carolina, Virginia Tech, and we also do Syracuse, Tennessee.
Okay, well then let's do those next. Notre Dame, Miami.
I haven't eaten anything today. That's why I'm so drunk. I had the biggest.
I'm glad it's not me this week. Feeling good.
Rotate until one of us is canceled. Here's the thing I think about all these Miami beep. I think that Carson Beck is going to have. I feel bad about saying this, Tyler, because I was the dumbass that was like, dude, DJ Uiagalelei, he could be a Heisman finalist. They went 2-10. Sorry, that's not funny, but I should have known the moment he was at a Circle K for NIL dollars that I was like, that's a bad pick.
Tough.
I like Miami. Not like their schedule's not as easy as I thought it was. It's not as easy as it was last year. Notre Dame should be good, but they have a big question mark that they have to replace, and that's with the quarterback position. Also, kind of a weird way that they've gone about their quarterback battle, where they were like at one point were like, it's clearly gonna be this guy. They name the other guys like, well, no, they're in contention, and all of a sudden they name so and so as the starter. I like the stability at Miami more than Notre Dame, which is something I never thought I would say going into the season. At least they seem a little bit more sure of themselves. I like them flying under the radar. Even with the Carson Beck, not higher, but basically, I think they're going to be good, man. I really do. I think that Notre Dame is a team that, like, especially early in the season, has not played well. And here's the thing that you have to be worried about with Notre Dame. It's not like necessarily last year when they were playing turnover-prone Drew Aller or like a really bad coach against ranked teams, James Franklin, or playing Georgia during a game where the head coach's dad is dying, literally happened, and against a backup quarterback. Like, what was the rest of that schedule? We look at Notre Dame now. We think they've turned a corner. Like, the idea that for Notre Dame is they've turned a corner. I want to remind everyone that a year ago when they went on this run, they did it when they had I think that week 2 and then the very last week of the season, they didn't have a true road game in between those two. Like it was some game early and like Purdue and like in Southern Cal or something like that. So this is a true road game, kind of, when they're playing at Miami. I think the other part of it too is that like they were very fortunate a season ago. Their schedule was not very difficult. And then when they got to the playoffs, they played a bullshit Indiana team. They played Georgia with a backup quarterback. And again, the head coach's dad was dying. For everybody but me, that's probably a pretty big deal. Like, I would have probably gone fucking foot to the floor, gas to the pedal, or whatever it is. We would have fucking won by 100. But then you had Penn State, and then Penn State, like they were about to lose, and Penn State has that turnover. Like, I'm not trying to downplay making a trip to the national championship. I'm just saying what happened on their way to get there. They were very fortunate at the very least. I like Carson Beck. I think he's better this year. I think he has less pressure this year. And if I'm Notre Dame, I'm doing one of two things. I'm blitzing his ass all night, or I'm putting both Cavender twins in his ear as much as possible. Like, new tits and everything, just have them out there just as front and center and get into his dome early, because he can be a head case.
Marlo, yeah. You think? Get in the Snapchat account, fire off some, just whatever you want from that account. Appears
Friday night, send someone into his fucking Snapchat.
Yeah.
I don't know. That game.
Yeah, I mean, look, good Notre Dame, true freshman at quarterback on the road. I mean, like you said, this may be a decent crowd just because Miami gets up for a couple games a year. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm kind of shocked that Notre Dame is the favorite in this game. Yeah, just with what Miami. Now, Miami's receivers, I don't really know anyone that has produced anything yet. The one guy that they potentially had coming back transferred to Bama. And that was the Horton kid. Yeah. They've got some talent in there. CJ Daniels, who played at LSU last year, transferred into Miami. Mm-hmm. Josh Trader was a former high 4-star, 5-star guy. Apparently there's this kid, Malachi Tony, true freshman, who's basically going to probably start for them. So somebody's got it that hasn't done it before has got to step up and prove that they can for them. And then their DBs were awful last year. So what does that look like for them this year? I don't like that Notre Dame has a true freshman quarterback going in this game. But, you know, it was a close competition between him and the backup Menchie. So maybe that guy's good enough to step in if things go awry. But, yeah, I don't know. I think I like Miami in this game too, at least plus the points. Although I think the head coaching matchup really favors Notre Dame here. So it's my 2 cents. You want to talk your favorite team these days, South Carolina?
Hold on. We're not going to get in any more trouble. We cannot monetize this with my company. We probably can, but I got to really cool it, huh?
What?
Our website, or not our website, our podcast. Eddie, come in. Fill in. I can't do this anymore. Hold on. I'm bringing this up.
What are you talking about?
Shut up.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Are we going to get in trouble for doing this?
Probably.
Yeah, well, you know what? Roll Tide.
Yeah, I can barely hear it.
Tyler, here's the deal. We'll keep it down here so people can't hear it as much. Here's the deal.
Don't worry, we can't hear it anyways.
This is my new thing. Right? Ready?
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8. I'm so fired up for this game, dude. I think like Russell Faison, I've been saying his name wrong all year. Him being put eligible, I think is going to, yes, that's right, Jay. USC. I think this team, the ceiling is so high for this team, and I'm so fired up about it because I think that getting this kid as a legit 4-4 flat home run threat, everyone looks at this team and they keep saying, listen, they lost so much talent to the NFL. That's true, they did. They lost 5 players to the NFL draft, all on defense. I get it. Lots to replace, but I keep going back to this one thing. Chris Doering said this to me a couple years ago when I was shit-talking Florida before the season, as you do. His point to me was, well, you didn't know any of the players that year going into it. Most people didn't. And then look what they did. That's how I feel about South Carolina. Shane Beamer deserves to have some sort of benefit of the doubt at some point with what he's been able to do in the transfer portal, what he's been able to do from a development standpoint, him and that staff, what they've been able to bring in, former 3-stars, all that kind of stuff. It's also the highest ranked roster they've had in I don't even know how many years. When he came in, they had 23 total blue chip players that are former 4 or 5 stars. They have 39 now. That's an increase by 50%. I'm sorry, it's over 50% because it was 26 in 2023. So it is 50% over the last 2 years. I feel like they are going to be very good. Clayton White and this defense, they did lose a ton of NFL talent, but they also brought in a lot of good players from the portal. And they've also been able to figure out a way to go into, I think like 3 of their top 9 recruits in the history of the program are all on the field this year. Like 3 of the top 9, they've only signed 10 5-stars. Or like there's a kid that committed to him last week, Darius Grays, and I'm one interior offensive lineman in the country. He is the 10th 5-star they've ever had committed or signed in the history of the program. 3 of the 9 going into this year are on the field at the same time. They have a chance to be very, very, very good. That also doesn't even include the transfer they got from Texas A&M as a former 5-star top 15 player nationally. He's got a very long name. I can't remember it because I've been drinking. But I think the LaNorris Sellers, all the bullshit that people have said to him about how, well, you know what? He can't really throw the ball. There's a reason they're saying it. I'm not going to get into what that reason is. I will tell you that 2019 Chris or 2020 Chris probably would have said something about it. Politically speaking, Tyler.
Whoa, Chris.
Woke Chris would have said something. There's a reason why people think that he's a better athlete than he is a thrower. But I feel like if you just look at the tape, look at the numbers, he's been very, very good, especially on throws like deep down the field. There's more talent on this team offensively than there was last year by a long shot. The offensive line should be better. I don't know how it can get worse. The receiver room they brought in from the freshman class was the best receiving class in the entire country. There's talent everywhere, man. There's talent everywhere. I'm so fucking fired up for this team. I'm more fired up about South Carolina this year than I am about Alabama. Legitimately. I am so excited about this team.
Love that. Can I interest you? How do you think the defense is going to be this year?
Shut the fuck up, Tyler.
Pretty good, right?
I'm talking about the defense. All right. No, I think defense is good. Here's the thing about the defense is that it's always been. Last year was really good, but there's been years where it's been bend but don't break. They have been the best team in the SEC in terms of forcing turnovers with 88 over the last 4 seasons under Clayton White every single year. Like they've been a top 5 team at forcing turnovers over the last 4 years. They have the most forced turnovers during that span as well. I think the defense is going to be fine.
I like the over in this game.
Yeah. It's pretty low, right? It's like 48.
Virginia Tech plus the points and the over. South Carolina's still going to win.
7.5. You like that?
Just because it's the half. I don't know. Dude, do we know anything about these first games? I mean,
I've been talking about them for a while. I will say that.
But I mean, seriously, I just use my own personal experience and the team I know the most. Like coming into last year against Georgia Tech, Nick Saban came out and said that Florida State has some of the most NFL players on their roster that he's seen this year. And we go out and lose to Georgia Tech and win 2 games.
Nick Saban's an idiot.
It's because of
clip that. I dare you, Eddie. No,
here's with Tennessee and
hold on. Back to South Carolina real quick. Here's the one thing I do know about Virginia Tech. They ran the ball on 59 or 58% of their plays last year. The best offense or best defense, I don't know how this phrase goes, even when I'm sober, but keeping LaNorris Sellers off the field is going to be a key for a lot of these teams. So running the football effectively and being able to gash this team and keeping the offense on the sideline, that's your best move. The secondary is still going to be really good, man. It's going to be really good. I'm going to tell you a couple, Fred Johnson, Sean Murphy, the kid that you're not very high on, and Justin Okoronkwo. This kid.
He went to Bama.
He's from Germany. So he hates to lose. And he also there's people on the staff at Bama that told me flat out, they're like, listen, if he was in America, dude, 5-star. And I'm like, right, but he wasn't. He was in Germany. And they were like, but still, 6'2", 230. Legitimately, they were replacing so much production in the linebacker position and that front 7 as well. I just don't. They listen, we talk about Ohio State because they have potentially the best offensive player in the country and defensive player, Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Smith. if you want to make a ranking of that, best offensive defensive player in the country, the Lenore Sellers and Dylan Stewart combination has got to be right behind it.
Justin Okonkwo and Lenore Sellers.
Lenore Sellers and Dylan Stewart are probably right behind that dick.
Yeah, behind that dick. All right, so everyone's been waiting for it all pod. Here we are, Syracuse, Tennessee, in the great state of Georgia.
We got to make our predictions, I guess, for the year. Oh, God.
That's true. 13.5 point favorite for Tennessee here in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, Georgia. Tennessee is this is 12 p.m. on ABC, by the way, Saturday. Tennessee is ranked 24th. Syracuse coming off a great year last year, first 10-win season since 2018. Holiday Bowl champs. Everybody loves the Holiday Bowl.
The Holiday Bowl is good, dude. Holiday Bowl is low-key very good.
Kyle McCord, he's gone. Fran Brown, he's kind of like this. He knows a thing or two about Tennessee. That's what Parlay Peace says. Is that
he official... was at Georgia.
Yeah. So is that an official nod to where Parlay P is thinking for? Is this one of Parlay P's picks?
I got Parlay P's picks coming in hot.
Oh, okay.
Did I say piss?
How fast you say that?
Allie just sent me a text. She goes, "Are you okay?" No. You
knew this. All right. What did he say? What did Parlay P say about this game?
Well, the picks will come later. He said what he said about this game in the comments. We just posted it. Listen, here's the thing. I think that this Tennessee team is going to be really good for what they are. I don't think they go back to the playoff. I don't think that we see this offense that's as productive. I think this is probably the least productive offense we've seen in the Heupel era at Tennessee. This is a rebuilding year. And it's not because you lost Nico. It'll be the narrative will be around that. But it's not because you lost Nico. And it's not because you took a giant step back because of quarterback production or whatever. You have 49% of this roster are freshmen or redshirt freshmen. Okay. Like it's very, very young. You lost one of the best players in the entire conference at the edge position with James. What's his name? I think he's with the Falcons now. You also have James Pierce. You also had Dylan Sampson, who was the SEC Offensive Player of the Year, had 20 touchdowns last year. Every offense that Josh Heupel's had in Tennessee has rushed for at least 2,600 yards. It's very much an offense that is predicated on the run way more than it ever is the past. I don't think that they are going to take a giant step back in their passing game. You still have Mike Matthews, whatever his name is, kid from Parkview High School, former 5-star. And you have what's that?
Mikey Matthews. Didn't he go by Mikey?
Does he?
Maybe not.
Mike McCoy was a receiver at Bama, I think, in like 2007. So not him, but Mike Matthews from Parkview High School for sure. Yeah. Then you still have Chris Brazzell, kid that was one of the top players in the portal 2 years ago out of Tulane. You have talent there, and you don't have to be a guy that throws the ball 100 miles an hour and have all the arm talent that Nico had. You just have to be more accurate on the deep ball. And Nico was not just bad for Tennessee standards and this offensive standards at being accurate on the deep ball. He was one of the worst in the entire conference. Like this is a kid that had one touchdown all season against teams that were ranked. That's it. One touchdown all year. So I don't look at this and think like, oh, well, he left, everything's gone to shit. I do think that when you look at like the rest of the team and how young they are, yeah, it's a concern. It's a big concern.
Yeah, defensively, I mean, I think this team, at least until they find their footing with Aguilar at quarterback, I think he's going to have to lead the team here. I'm looking at what's the total in this game? 51.5.
I love the over there.
I like the over here too. So both these teams top 25 in scoring last year on offense. Syracuse gave up almost 30 points a game last year.
That's the thing. Whatever Tennessee's team total is and the over, I love those two picks.
Yeah. So who knows about the spread? I mean, my gut would be Tennessee to cover the spread, but I do love the over.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to bet the spread. What's going on?
I just feel like I'm talking a whole bunch, and I asked in the chat if I was talking too much, and Eddie just wrote on a Peter, and I forgot about the hashtag on a Peter.
The great hashtag. All right, well we're a minute or an hour 10 in, so we've covered the games. Give us your championship pick. Just
for the national championship.
Yeah, Iowa State.
I will take. Oh, that's tough. Do you have somebody in mind? You want to go first?
I think what makes this tough is like we're entering into a season where truly I don't think there's one team that stands out above another.
Yeah.
The one that I think has maybe the easiest path,
Texas.
plus great O-line, D-line, awesome quarterback. I hate it, but give me Clemson.
I hate that too. And
Yeah.
I think you're look at Evan Grimes. Appreciate you, Evan. Really appreciate you, man. I don't think you're wrong.
Because think about it, they may never have to face a Georgia or a Texas just because there's so many playoff rounds now. Like,
you know, it's weird. I don't know anything about Oregon. Like, I don't know.
I know that's kind of a quiet team, right? Like,
yeah, and they've got like all the talent there. I think it's gonna be a really fun season. I've been so zeroed in on the SEC, but there's a lot of teams I wonder about how good they're gonna be. I think, like, dude, what if Ohio State goes 9-3? Like, what if Ohio State loses to Michigan, Penn State, and Texas? All very reasonable things that can happen. What if Texas loses to Ohio State, Georgia, and then they do what a lot of SEC teams have done, which is lose to a team they shouldn't? Like, I'm kind of in a year where I'm hoping for like a little bit of chaos with still my favorites happening and being in the playoff. I do think Clemson's the best team on paper, man. I think like their schedule sets up well. I like Clemson in the national championship. I'm gonna say it and I'm gonna hate it. But I've had enough to drink, so who fucking cares? I think Clemson and Bama play in the national championship.
no,
I do.
the truth comes out.
I just talked to myself into it in the last 30 seconds, so you know it's real. I think Penn State is better. I think they're going to be around, but I cannot trust anything that James Franklin touches. I like Clemson. I like Bama. I will take.
Yep. Clip it. Post it. Let's go.
I'm going to take Bama.
Yes.
I've never done this. In all of our years, I don't think I picked Bama to win the national championship.
Yes.
I probably have.
All right. Big matchup in week 1 for Bama to try to get to chip.
Fuck.
All right, everybody. We appreciate you tuning in. It's great to be back. I'm glad the real season is finally back. Let's do this.
If you don't hang up, by the way, we got to talk after this.
All right. Hey, good luck on Saturday, buddy.
Oh, that sucks. I don't like this, man. Because I really do.
Either.
I appreciate you so much as a friend in general. And I'm not. This is not the liquor talking. I'm like, I genuinely want my friends to be happy when their teams play.
Oh.
I hate the idea. Like, part of me almost wishes that you would be happy on Saturday and I would. But then I think about my life, Tyler, and I'm like, man, you know,
that's a tough
lot. Does Eddie deserve it? Look at this smug piece of shit. Does he deserve it? Look at him. Oh, I'm Eddie. I'm here laughing the whole time. Shut up, dude. Shut up.
Yeah, Bama by 90. Let's go.
Wait.
Lock agreement, Bama.
Parlay P picks.
Okay. All right, Parlay P.
All right,
let's go.
We're gonna do this every week. This guy is like a godsend when it comes to our picks, and I'll tell you this, because we talked about this a lot last year. We just didn't. Well, you didn't act on them.
You can give me them.
Georgia Tech, Alabama money line parlay.
Okay.
He did not tell me how much that pays.
Okay,
but I like it.
All right.
They're both favorites though.
Yes.
Auburn minus 2.5. Now I'm a pussy and I'm going to take the money line, but that is the bet of the week is Auburn. Okay. Yeah. That whiskey. Yeah. And then he's got Bama first half -7. I didn't know the first half was only -7. I'd probably MC Hammer time that. Oh, boy. Those are the Parlay P picks.
Oh, yes. Parlay P loves Bama. He loves Auburn.
He's a Georgia fan. Remember we were all in Tahoe together. Like you were there, or maybe you were there a couple weeks after, but he was in Tahoe the only time I've ever been in Tahoe at the same time.
No, you were in Tahoe.
Remember last year I had to go to that stupid wedding that I couldn't afford?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I was like unemployed.
Wasn't it at Edgewood?
Yeah.
Yeah, the place is sick, huh?
Yes. Yes.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
I got dropped off there after like a 13-hour travel day, and they were like, excuse me, guy wearing one shoe. Like, are you okay? And I was like, I just need to go to the bathroom. They're like, get out. But no, that was the venue was like, dude, all
that
of
was an expensive wedding.
Allie's other friend got married at fucking Mar-a-Lago this year.
Oh, geez. Back in your old stomping grounds. Am I right?
No. That's where I'm getting married, by the way.
Hell yeah.
We should, you know what? For the bachelor party, I want the same setup. I want you there, Tyler, but I want Eddie just to be FaceTiming the entire time.
All right. We'll be at Mar-a-Lago.
Mar-a-Lago. Just Myrtle
Hell yeah,
Beach.
brother.
Just Myrtle Beach, dude.
All right. Best of luck this weekend, everybody. Oh, do we have an Angry Fans line set up?
We'll do it. We'll do it this weekend. I got plenty of money right now.
Okay, we got to tweet it out. We'll tweet it out. So, hey, if you haven't yet, DM Parlay P for picks.
Yes, for real.
Yeah. And then follow us at Tyler Huck, at Vern Funquist on Twitter. We'll tweet out the line for the Angry Fans. Call in if you're pissed, you're happy, whatever. After this weekend, we'll play the best voicemails. Thank you, guys. Peace. We're out.